Couple reasons. There was a fire both in the cathedral, but also we're across the street from Decatur Street, which is where the deadliest fire in the history of Lowell took place, where 8 lives were lost in the 80s. So first I'm going to talk about the cathedral, and then I'm going to talk about Decatur Street, because it really is a significant fire, and it was an event that really captivated a good portion of the city at the time. So first, St. John Baptiste, the fire here was November 21st, 1912. It began just after 7 a.m. in the morning, and by 10:45 they said it had swept through the entire building, including the uppermost portions of the church. Church fires are notoriously difficult to extinguish, both because they tend to have a lot of wood in them, and also because they tend to be so wide open. Just like the mills, it's difficult to get ignited, but once they get going, they really get going. 25 firefighters and 1 priest were overcome by the smoke, trying to prevent damage. The loss at the time in dollars was estimated to be $200,000 to almost $250,000, which was really significant. It was a general alarm, which meant all Lowell resources did respond to this fire. At the time the fire began, 150 people were celebrating Mass in the lower church. They were all evacuated. They said at the height of the fire, looking through the doors and through the stained glass, it looked like a furnace in there. It basically was a huge furnace. All of the glass and all the renovations inside the church that you see now post-date the restoration of it after the fire. So I believe it was completed by 1915 that they actually reopened the church post-fire with all the restoration. I'm sure if you've taken these tours, you may have even been inside. This building is spectacular. It really is. It's beautiful. They did a wonderful job. The exterior walls are all original. They were left standing, even though the fire did burn through the roof. There were actually 2 more arson attempts on this building about 10 years after the original fire in 1924, but they were not successful, and obviously we're very fortunate to still have the building here. I only have 1 picture. I don't know if anyone knows Guy Lefebvre, who used to own the Lowell Gallery. He actually had 1 picture of this fire, and it was really unbelievable. The crowd, the smoke, and just the size of this building alone. With the technology they had at the time, this would have been a tremendously difficult fire to fight. Just the elevation alone, trying to get hose lines in there, it's amazing that they were able to save anything. And we've had a number of church fires. St. Pat's, the Greek Orthodox Church at Mount Vernon and Butterfield Street in '99. St. George's Orthodox Church in the 70s. I mean, there really has been a number of church fires, and it's more or less consistent throughout. Fire departments, they tend to be very dangerous, and they tend to be big fires, spectacular fires. So Decatur Street. Decatur Street.
What was the cause, the source?
There was no cause determined on that one, but I'm guessing if Mass was going on at the time, candles. That would be my guess. I mean, I think about it in a church, an active church at the time, that would be my best guess. But you never, I mean, in the time of year that it was, November, they could have had the heat on, they could have had an old coal boiler, it really could have been anything, but